guys, do you find yourself procrastinating things that are so simple and making everything in your life way more complicated? Do you find yourself wondering why you couldn't just do those things when they were easy and little and now they've like rolled into huge snowballs of problems? Well, the answer to that question might be a little deeper than you initially suspected. Trauma in our past can cause us to actually procrastinate and make our lives much more difficult. And as we're procrastinating, we're actually internalizing in a cycle more of that trauma and becoming more and more convinced that we're bad, lazy, shameful, failure type people. I've struggled with this my whole life, and I'm here to help you clear the blocks in your energy system that can cause these problems with the process of emotional freedom technique, aka EFT, aka tapping on it. Have you guys heard of tapping? I just got over being very sick, and usually I put a little makeup on before I do one of these, like at least a little blush, but I didn't have any time today, and I look ghastly. Anyways, sorry guys, it's me, Taylor Television. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. We're doing Thursday night live streams every Thursday at 7 o'clock. And this month we've been focusing on shame. So doing tapping live streams every Thursday at 7 o'clock. And yeah, this month our focus has been toxic shame. The first week we went over discussing what toxic shame actually is, and we went over what emotional freedom technique actually is. And the second week, which was last week, we dealt with people pleasing issues that come. Hey, you're back. I was actually really hoping that I would catch you on this live stream. Thank you so much for coming back and welcome. So, last week we dealt with people pleasing issues and the way that toxic shame coming from trauma of our past can cause us to be too people pleasing and too amenable to other people's needs and wants from us. And I think a lot of people think that people pleasing, because we live in a society where it's looked upon as good to be busy and good to be helpful. So I think sometimes people confuse being helpful with actually over people pleasing to the point of taking away energy from getting things done in your own life, which I did for so long. I like ran myself ragged trying to do all these different things for everybody, but I wasn't really doing it out of the kindness of my heart. I was doing it out of like a feeling of obligation that I needed to please these people to basically be like worthy of being alive, which isn't true. You're inherently worthy of being alive. You're inherently valuable whether or not you please anyone. And the only person you actually need to be concerned with is pleasing yourself, and then you'll be able to please other people in the future. But until you're actually pleasing yourself, pretty much all the other people pleasing you do will basically be fake. I don't know. That's just my opinion. So I wanted to come up with another interesting angle that people don't often associate with feelings of shame and trauma. And I came up with, I lost my train of thought. Oh, yeah, procrastination. Procrastination is another trauma based habit that can happen when you have had a lot of hard stuff happen in your life. So I don't think people often associate procrastination with shame, but they actually go hand in hand, because when you go through a lot of difficulties in life or you go through traumas in life, you start to internalize the idea that you're not worthy or entitled to the good things in the world that other people have. And you begin to get the message that there's something wrong with you, basically. There's something wrong with you, and that you're not entitled or worthy of the good things and the support and the love that other people have. So it basically forms this learned helplessness in you, that you basically are so used to things being difficult and you're so used to not having your needs met that you basically stop even trying to get your needs met. And you feel incapable of accomplishing things the way that other people accomplish things, and you have such a deficit of self-esteem, basically. I mean, I also have some notes. You have like a deficit of self-esteem, and it makes everyday tasks seem very overwhelming. And then it turns into this cycle of everyday tasks seem so overwhelming, but everyone else seems to be handling it just fine. But in reality, you may have a past that has left marks on your psyche that's very different than those other people. And a lot of other people that are going through life seeming to handle it just fine aren't fine either. It just seems like that from the outside. But basically, then it turns into a cycle of feeling bad about yourself. Why can't I do things that everyone else is doing? And then once you feel bad about yourself and you feel overwhelmed, you become even more likely to procrastinate. And then your problems get bigger and bigger and bigger. And you start saying, well, if I had just dealt with that thing when it was small, why am I so stupid? Why didn't I just deal with that before I had a late fee? Or why didn't I just deal with that before I had to pay for it again? And it just starts a cycle of really negative self-talk where you feel really bad about yourself for procrastinating all these things. But there's a good chance that you're not just procrastinating because you're lazy. Some people procrastinate because they're lazy, but it's when you're a hardworking and conscientious person that's consistently procrastinating and putting things off and letting things pile up to the point of no return and of making mountains basically out of molehills. And that's what really got me wondering like what my deal was. It was like, I'm a hardworking person. I'm not lazy. I've innovated every workplace I've ever been in and come up with like better processes to do things. I'm super efficient. I love working. Why am I sitting here so paralyzed? So today we're going to work through an EFT tapping script to clear procrastination tendencies that stem from past trauma. Yeah, do you find yourself constantly putting things off, trapped in a cycle of procrastination? What if I told you the root of your procrastination might be linked to past trauma and learned helplessness? Imagine breaking free from this cycle, reclaiming your confidence, and taking charge of your life. Yes, we're going to break free from this cycle. We're going to regain our confidence, and we're going to take charge of our life with today's EFT tapping session. Harsh self-criticism is a very bad habit. Yes. So that was my New Year's resolution, to have more grace with myself because I was, and Fatima, thank you for your comment because that actually brings me around to where we're really going to end. And it's basically the baby steps that you take towards self-love and self-compassion instead of berating yourself and punishing yourself with all these really nasty words. And I'm glad you understand it, be-gooders. I'm trying to explain it in a way that people will understand. So it's the harsh self-criticism that turns into a cycle that just pushes you further and further down into self-loathing, really, and being so frustrated with yourself and having low self-esteem. And that's never a place from which you're going to do your best work or achieve your highest goals. Yeah, we're going to dive into an EFT tapping script that can help you heal your emotional blocks behind your procrastination. And I have a couple of signs that your procrastination might be shame-based. Thank you guys so much for liking the live stream. If you can find the three dots in the corner and hit them, and make sure you hit the live stream with a like, it really helps my YouTube channel and it really helps my live stream. We've been doing this every Thursday, so if you enjoy the content, make sure to subscribe and come back and join us next Thursday to see what we are working with. This month was based on clearing shame with EFT tapping. So we did an intro, then we did people pleasing and shame. Now we're doing procrastination and shame. So some emotional signs that thank you for the like, thank you. Yeah, and I find that when I procrastinate a lot, we'll go over it, but it makes me feel so much worse about myself, but really I'm practicing giving myself love and self-compassion, and I'm trying to motivate you guys to treat yourself with love, treat yourself with compassion, and if all that you can do is realize you're talking to yourself negatively when you're procrastinating, that's the 1% change that will add up over time. These habits didn't start overnight or in an instant. These habits are built from years and years of us internalizing the things that have happened to us and around us. So it's not going to just disappear overnight, but if you learn practices like EFT tapping, you can little by little chip away at these negative patterns and really give yourself a life full of freedom and peace and joy. And that's really, really what I want to help people with. So you might not be able to just feel better and stop procrastinating all of a sudden, but if you can just stop judging yourself for procrastinating, and if you can start contextualizing why you might be procrastinating and giving yourself the grace to say, you know, I didn't have the support that I needed, and I'm learning how to be a support for myself. So when you undergo a lot of trauma, you do not have the support systems that you need to get through the hardships in your life. EFT tapping, it's basically acupuncture. I was going to go into what it is in a second, but it's acupuncture on the outside of your body, basically. So you are applying pressure to certain areas that correlate to energy medians within your body. So it's based on the same system as acupuncture, but you don't need any needles and you can do it to yourself all the time. So it's a really accessible form of energy medicine that can help reset and clear out the blocks from your energy system. Your energy always wants to flow. When your energy is flowing, that's when you feel good, you feel happy, you feel free. But when your energy is blocked in certain areas because of certain things that happen in your life that you kind of hold on to, then it's very hard for your energy system to flow freely. And we all need a free flowing energy system. So we're going to go through a few rounds of it. And then if you follow up with me and email me, I'll give you the tapping transcript so you can do it anytime you want, but you can always come back to my channel and rewatch the video and do it. But yeah, so when you grow up without the support systems that you need, you basically learn that things are very difficult. We all need support systems, and people with healthy and regulated nervous systems often come from situations where they had the support that they needed and they had the support systems around them when things got difficult. But when you grow up without the support systems around you to support you when things are difficult, you basically internalize that and you learn that things are always difficult, that I'm on my own, that no one's here to help me, that no one's coming to help me, that I need to do it all on my own and I need to figure it out all on my own. And if I make mistakes, you know, no one will love me and I won't be accepted. And it's this very, it's all untrue things, like very negative self-talk that can form a pattern in your mind. And that makes procrastinating so much more likely because everything seems so much more overwhelming. Little things don't seem like little things when you don't have the proper support around you. So basically, trauma throughout our life causes us to get used to not having the support we need. And not having the support we need makes it very difficult to do all the tasks that we need to do in our day because, you know, life can be very overwhelming. And when you are used to feeling helpless, hopeless, and like you have no support, things are 10 times worse. And then you look around you and see other people not having the same issues with things that seem so simple. And you say, what's wrong with me? So now it's a cycle of shame where you're wondering, what's wrong with me? It's not what's wrong with about what I'm doing. It's what's wrong with me internally, inherently as a person. And that's the difference between, I think they say like shame and guilt, or feeling, you know, internalizing that shame. Guilt is that you did something bad or you did something wrong. Shame is that you are something bad and you are something wrong. And when you go through a lot of trauma, you internalize that shame. People treated you very badly, and in your mind, you figure you must have deserved it in some way and that you must be bad. And you install that in your brain as an operating system and the truth. And even when people aren't around you, traumatizing you and guilting you and shaming you, you'll pick up right where they left off. So it's like they're living in your head rent free. So even when someone's not guilting you and shaming you, you'll guilt and shame yourself. So I noticed I was doing that like crazy to myself. And this year I was like, I'm done. I'm going to be kind to myself. I'm not going to lay in bed and just berate myself and punish myself and totally flagellate myself for all the ways that I'm not perfect. Like I would go to sleep every night just listing all these terrible thoughts about myself. And I'm a really good, kind, hardworking, loving person. So there's no reason why I should go to bed with these thoughts in my head every night. And I made it a real commitment to change that. So here's some emotional signs that your procrastination is trauma-based. Chronic anxiety, when you have persistent feelings of anxiety and stress, especially when thinking about starting or completing tasks. Oh, and this plays into the intense fear of failure, an overwhelming fear of making mistakes or failing because you didn't have the unconditional love and support that you needed. And now you are basically projecting that past experience onto future experiences and expecting to have that same experience again. So the need to be perfect, and that plays into people pleasing and perfectionism, which we covered last week. You can still, I make all the live streams public, so you can watch last week's. You can watch week 1, 2, and 3 in a row if you want. Low self-esteem, believe that you're not capable of deserving of success. Shame and guilt, deep feelings of shame and guilt when faced with tasks linked to past events where you felt humiliated or blamed. Avoiding tasks, perfectionism, setting unrealistically high standards to avoid criticism and failure, leading to procrastination because tasks seem so overwhelming. I don't have to make perfect YouTube videos. I just have to make YouTube videos. But a lot of my shame-based, trauma-based brain stops me from doing a lot of things I'd be successful at because if I'm not perfect, I don't even feel worthy of doing anything. And that's coming from a past full of people who were very, very critical of me. Excessive rumination on potential outcomes leading to paralysis and fear, right? Unrealistic goals. Do you know how many people, right? Just take anything you want to do. For example, me and YouTube. Do you know how many people are out there being way worse YouTubers than me with much more confidence? Anything you could possibly want to do in life, there are people doing it way worse than you're going to do it at a way lower level, way more confidently. And it's not because they're better than you and it's not because there's anything wrong with you. It's because they have a confidence program running in their mind and you or I have a shame program running in our minds that tells us we're bad and we're not capable and nothing we ever do will work out. So basically, you take the bad things that have happened, you install that voice into your own mind, and then the rude people, the unsupportive people, the abusive people, they don't even need to be around anymore because they're living in your head rent free and you're doing their job for them. So, yeah, fear of judgment and emotionally numbing, numbing yourself or detaching, like Netflix binging, smoking too much pot, all that stuff. Good. How did I get so knowledgeable? I went through hell. I went through hell. I went through so many hard things and I refused to let them ruin my life. I was like, no, I'm going to find a way. And I went to a therapist and she taught me this. And then I learned how to teach it to other people. And yeah, so, real quick, this is my disclaimer. I'm not a psychological professional. You should seek professional help with your psychiatric and physical problems. This video is for entertainment purposes only. I'm just here to teach you one technique in a sea of techniques that can help make you feel better. I just think it's really cool that this technique is free and you can do it anywhere you want and you can tailor it to any problem that you're trying to solve. I feel a little weird with the way that my hair is right now, but that's okay. You are so welcome, Fatima. Thank you for being here in my live stream. You guys, I couldn't do it without you. So if you're in the live stream, make sure you find the 3 buttons, hit the video with a like, and we're going to get into our EFT tapping. I think I've gone over the ways that past trauma can cause us to procrastinate and feel even unworthy of achieving our goals. So even a subconscious inner fear of our own greatness, because when you go through trauma and you're around people who are abusive, they don't want to see you win, and so it almost turns you into a person who doesn't want to see you win. And you don't think that consciously, but deep down in your subconscious mind, you can self-sabotage yourself constantly to keep yourself in a low down state. And this is all, thank you. Thanks. I don't know. It's weird when you look at yourself on the camera, but thank you so much. I have to just practice not touching it. I have to practice just chilling out. Once we start tapping, I won't be able to touch it anyway. So yeah, EFT is 5,000 years old. It's based on the Chinese energy meridian system. It was basically invented or discovered on accident. somebody, there was a psychologist, I think, and he was dealing with this woman who had a phobia of the water, and she would get sick to her stomach every time she thought about going in the water. So he knew that the Chinese medicine meridian for the stomach was right here, and he had her tap on it while talking about her fear of the water. And she was able to get in the water, and one thing led to another, and they figured out that you can actually. I'm losing the word. I just got over being very sick. So I'm a little bit at a loss for words today. But if you stimulate the energy points from Chinese medicine system on the outside of your body, you can also have very similar energetic clearing effects. Yeah, it's hard not to touch your hair, especially if you don't want to wash it too much, because I'm like on this whole hair growth journey thing. If you can see, I'm actually growing all this new hair. You might not be able to see it, but like I like grew all these new like baby hairs and stuff. But if you're not trying to wash your hair that often, you shouldn't touch it because it actually like makes it dirty. Okay, so yeah, that's EFT. I think we went through trauma and procrastination. We went through EFT tapping, and I think I explained the ways that EFT can help with this. Is that we internalize things that happen to us through our lives, and it creates certain blocks in our energy system. And EFT tapping and acupuncture is a way to stimulate certain points of the energy system and help clear those blockages. Thank you. I did go through hell, but you know what they say? If you're going through hell, just keep going. I'll get into more of what I went through in longer form videos on my YouTube channel. I want to keep this mostly to tapping about shame, but holy crap. I let people treat me so badly. I had the worst self-esteem. I spoke so terribly to myself, and my life was on a course like I didn't even recognize my life. And now I'm making this YouTube channel all about restarting and rebuilding my life. I just turned 39 2 weeks ago, or a week and a half ago, a week ago, I don't know, a week ago. I just turned 39, and I am using all these techniques that I've learned to reinvent my life and achieve every dream I've ever had, because I got so far off the path of where I wanted to go. And I'm so glad that I was able to have the resources to teach me these skills to save myself, save my life before it was too late, save myself before I married somebody else abusive, or got any deeper into these self-destructive, self-sabotage cycles that come from internalizing shame of negative experiences that you have through life, and the way that people treat you. The way that people treat you says everything about them and really nothing about you. But as you're a child and you're growing up, you just put all that in your brain as being true about yourself, and it can really lead to a lot of very maladaptive behaviors, very self-destructive, self-sabotaging patterns in your life. And it led me down a really, really bad road of failed relationships, abusive relationships, post-traumatic stress syndrome, and I healed. And so all I want to do is share with you guys what I did, because the stuff that I did to heal, it's simple, but it's not easy. Some of this stuff seems too easy to be true, but it's not. It's just very simple. And it's simple, but it's not easy, because you have to show up for yourself. You have to commit to doing this work, and you have to trust in it before you see it working. You have to trust in just taking one step in front of the next and healing your life. And sometimes it feels impossible, and sometimes it feels like you've backslid so far. I went on this whole healing thing, and then I thought I was good to go. I spent my life savings. I ran back to my abusive ex. I thought I was doing so good, and then I backslid so bad, but I didn't. Yeah, you just turned 30. Yeah, and milestone birthdays can be a great time to make big changes in your life. So I backslid, and I was like, I thought I healed. I thought I fixed myself. And I had healed and I had fixed so much, but healing isn't always going forward. Sometimes it's back and forth and back and forth. And it's, like I said, it's simple, but it's not easy. Fresh air, gratitude, breathing, walking, EFT tapping, almost every single thing I've legit done to heal myself that's actually worked has been completely free and super easy. It just takes caring for yourself and loving yourself enough to be willing to show up, and to have the faith that just putting one step in front of the other, you're going to get there. And I had to do this stuff for literally 5 years with blind faith, without any real evidence that anything I was doing was working, because I was so desperate to heal. and so desperate to fix my life and so desperate to reach my goals and achieve my dreams. I wouldn't give up. And some of this stuff, I'm tapping on my face. I felt crazy. I felt stupid. I felt silly. I felt like I believed in a bunch of fake stuff. And then overnight. So that was something else I wanted to explain as far as self-love and self-hate and shame. You know, when you're procrastinating and you feel so bad about yourself, happy birthday. Yeah, healing does take time. And if you're 17, you're in a great position because you're learning these skills, you know, for the rest of your life. These are great skills to learn that I've tried to like teach my kids and stuff like that, so that they don't have to. I'm trying to give them a life they don't have to heal from, and I'm trying to give them the tools and the techniques to, keep themselves strong and healthy, because life can be really hard and scary, and we all have to like find our ways to like stay afloat and feel good. But basically, your well-being is like a seesaw. Like, so when you spend your whole life feeling so bad about yourself and speaking so negatively to yourself, you're like this, you're down, right? And healing, it's like so incremental when you boost yourself up and you try to feel a little bit better about yourself, and you do your EFT tapping and you do your gratitude journal and nothing seems to be changing. But then all of a sudden the scales tip and it becomes much easier to feel good about yourself, to remember to do your self-care things, to speak to yourself kindly. It just becomes much easier all of a sudden out of nowhere. Another good analogy is, if you take an ice cube, right, and it's negative whatever, I don't know when ice starts melting, 32 degrees? So you have an ice cube at 28 degrees, okay? You turn up the heat, 29 degrees. Nothing happens to the ice cube. It's still frozen. You turn up the heat to 30 degrees. Nothing happens to the ice cube. It's still frozen. So it's easy to think, well, increasing the temperature is never going to melt this ice cube. And you raise it to 31. Still nothing happens. It's like, what's the point? 32. But then when you bump it up that one last degree to 33, then the ice cube starts melting, and then you see. Then you see the effects of what you're doing. So it's kind of like melting an ice cube. And yeah, a lot of the stuff doesn't seem like it's doing anything. And it didn't for me either. But I stayed the course because a lot of this stuff is scientific. It's actually based in real science. So I just had faith that from what I could tell from science and reality and my own spirituality and my own like psychic senses, and I just stuck with it. And that's what I'm here. I'm here to motivate you guys to stick with it, even when it feels hard, even when you're procrastinating, even if you've procrastinated your EFT tapping all week, if you can just say to yourself, hey, maybe I'm procrastinating because there's some stuff I have going on inside of me. And maybe I can be compassionate and curious about what's going on with me. And maybe I can just accept myself in this moment, Thank you. I try my best. I'm a Gemini, so I'm a communicator. So I have to be able to communicate my ideas with my words. And it's my passion. It's my purpose. So that's that, guys. You want to get into the tapping? Let's do our tapping. I have 2 scripts here. And yeah, I hope that you guys are hydrating before we do these sessions. It's important to be hydrated so that everything can flow, and also uncross your legs. So sit with your feet on the ground. Yeah, the emotional freedom technique combines elements of cognitive therapy and exposure therapy. Cognitive therapy, like reminding yourself what you want to believe, and then exposure therapy, which is like bringing up the things that you don't want going on, and you kind of combine those, and you combine it with acupressure in the form of tapping on specific meridian points. And so yeah, I'm going to show you the tapping points. Well, actually, you guys can just follow me. I don't really have to show you them, but I'll show you them first. So the first point is the karate chop point. That's where we're going to start. Thank you guys so much for being here with me. I really appreciate it. It would be a lot weirder if I didn't have anyone to talk to. I would do it. Because you could kidnap me, lock me in a basement, and I'd still have something to say. But thank you guys for being here with me. It makes the stream so much better. Karate chop point, eyebrow point, side of eye, under the nose, chin point, collarbone point, under the arms, top of the head. So we're going to start off by rating our subjective units of distress, our SUD, our SUDs. Think about things you've been procrastinating. Think about your tendency to procrastinate and notice how it's making you feel. Think about the things that you've been procrastinating. Think about the thoughts surrounding your procrastination. Think about all that and rate in your own mind, and you could drop it in the chat, but how uncomfortable do you feel? How anxious does it make you feel to think about all the things that you've been procrastinating, right? So for me, I have like a lot of stuff I'm procrastinating right now, and it's giving me a significant amount of anxiety. But whereas my anxiety used to be at a 10, since I started like loving and accepting and supporting myself way more and using all these activities or these techniques, I would say my anxiety around it is about a 5, which I think is a cool place to be at because I feel like a 5 gives you enough fire under your ass to get stuff done, and isn't pushing you over the, the brink of freaking out. But rate how distressed you feel when, okay, like something's stuck in your throat. That's interesting. That's like a throat chakra thing too. Where are you from, Fatima? Yeah, so if you feel very negative, like something stuck in your throat, I would say that you probably are at least close to a 10 of subjective units of distress, and we are going to tap on it, and you're going to feel better when we finish. I'm almost positive. I can't guarantee anything, but based on my experience, you'll feel better when we're done with this, okay? And actually, you know what? We can even do, when we're done, we can totally do last week's tapping session together if you'd like to, Fatima. Lebanon, cool. I was going to say shukran, but I didn't know. Shukran for being here. So we could even do last week's tapping script if we want to, if you want to, Fatima. Once we do the first one. I'm not sure if this is, yeah, this is last week. Okay, this is last week's, right? Okay, excuse me, guys. I'm not as organized as I usually am. But yes, if we want to get crazy, we can get into the one from last week too. And I guarantee you, you'll feel a little bit better. All right, here we go. Here we're doing it. So, sorry, I'm just trying to find where my script starts. Okay. One second. Sorry, guys. This is not the script that I had planned to use. I think that I lost a couple pages of my script here. Just give me 1 second, guys. I'm sorry. I know I got you all excited that we were going to shukran, that one. I really need to find where I put my procrastination tapping one. Here it is. All right. Here we go, guys. We're going to start on the karate chop point right here. Feet flat on the ground because we want all of our energy. Excuse my vacuum. That's going to actually really bother me. We want our feet flat on the ground, okay, so that all of our energy meridians are flowing normally. And we're going to do it. So we're going to set it up by acknowledging what we don't want. Even though I have this procrastination and it's connected to my past trauma and feelings of helplessness, I deeply and completely accept myself. I'm going to say it twice. I'm going to say it once and then I'll say it twice and give you an opportunity to repeat it. Just repeat it after me to yourself, and you don't have to say it out loud if you feel weird, okay? You can just watch me say it, but it really helps if you say it out loud, and when you're doing it on your own, it really helps looking in a mirror, and we keep our eyes open when we do our tapping, okay? Even though I have this procrastination and it's connected to my past trauma and feelings of helplessness, I deeply and completely accept myself. Eyebrow point. This procrastination, tapping hard enough to feel it, not hard enough to hurt. This feeling of being stuck. I feel overwhelmed when I think about starting. This fear of failure. This shame from my past. this shame from my past. I remember the trauma. This is your collarbone point. I remember the trauma and how it makes me feel. I remember the trauma and how it makes me feel. It's hard to move forward because of it. It's hard to move forward because of it. This learned helplessness holds me back. This learned helplessness holds me back. Then we're going to go back to the eyebrows. This procrastination, this feeling that everything is difficult. This procrastination, this feeling that everything is difficult. This feeling of being too overwhelmed to start because I don't know all the steps. Feeling too scared to start because I don't know all the steps. Feeling worried about what people might think of me. Feeling worried of what people might think of me if I'm less than perfect. If I'm less than perfect. Avoiding things that scare me. Avoiding things that scare me often makes things pile up. Often makes things pile up. These habits make me feel even more overwhelmed. These habits make me feel even more overwhelmed and full of shame in myself. And full of shame in myself. This procrastination is protecting me. This procrastination is protecting me. Oops, sorry. This procrastination is protecting me. Don't worry if we mess up the order. This procrastination is protecting me. It's trying to keep me safe from failure and judgment. It's trying to keep me safe from failure and judgment. But it's also keeping me from succeeding. But it's also keeping me from succeeding. I acknowledge this connection to my past trauma. I acknowledge this connection to my past trauma. I see how it's all linked together. I see how it's all linked together. I honor my feelings and my experiences. I honor my feelings and my experiences. I understand more why I procrastinate now. I understand more why I procrastinate now. But I also know I can change this pattern. I'm going to do a couple more rounds. I choose to release this procrastination. I choose to release this procrastination. I release shame and fear from my past. I release the shame and fear from my past. I am safe now. I am safe now. I am capable of moving forward. I am capable of moving forward. I forgive myself for times I've procrastinated in the past. I forgive myself for times I've procrastinated in the past. I embrace my potential. I embrace my potential. I am free to take action. I am free to take action. I deeply and completely accept myself. I deeply and completely accept myself. I am stronger than my past. Remember to breathe. I am stronger than my past. Through your nose. I have the power to change. I have the power to change. I trust in my abilities. I release the need to be perfect. I release the need to be perfect. I am enough just as I am. I am enough just as I am. I choose to take one step at a time. I choose to take one step at a time. I believe in my progress. I believe in my progress. I am confident and capable. Now put your hands down flat on your lap. Take 3 big, deep cleansing breaths. Through your nose, into your belly, out through your mouth. I feel good. I really hope you guys do too. We did it. Fatima, that was your first tapping session. Sam, it's your second tapping session, right? What do you guys think? What do you think? How do you feel? Tell me in the comments how you feel. It's relaxing, right? And it's one of those things where when you're doing it, you're like, I don't even know if this is real, but it actually feels good. So the coolest part about EFT tapping I found, especially when you're actively stressed out, like I used to like get stressed out, come downstairs and like start tapping. The head taps, that's my favorite spot. Ah! Yes, the head taps are my favorite spot. I used to get so frustrated. I was so mad one time with my kids and I started, they'll never forget it. Because it became this automatic response. What do you think, Sam? You feel good? It became this automatic response to not feeling good. I just started tapping. So the coolest part about it, I really think, is that it gives you something to do. I feel like some of the worst anxiety and stress can be caused by not being able to do anything and not having any personal agency in that moment. But it gives you something you can always do, and it's somatic. It gives you something to do with your hands. It's like you're pressing on these acupressure points, and so it really is affecting the energy of your body. But base level, it just gives you something to do with your hands, you know? I think it could be good to help people quit smoking, you know, because it gives you something to do with your hands and it fixes like your vibes and your energy. But yeah, and I think it really helps. I learned that in my EFT tapping training, the subjective units of distress thing, where you kind of gauge how you're feeling. Because my EFT therapist would always say, like, how do you feel now? And I was so in my head and I was ready to be like, well, I feel fine. Like she'd have me do this whole tapping thing and she'd be like, how do you feel now? I'm like, I feel fine, but can we get back to James? Excuse me. I just got over being sick. I have to cough and hopefully this mutes it. I don't think that's muted. Hold on. Excuse me. Excuse me. And thank you for your discretion at this difficult time. Yeah, so she'd have me do this whole tapping thing and then she'd try to get me to take a deep breath. I was like, okay, I breathe. I also want to complain about other things. We've got 10 minutes left. Wait till you hear what this guy did. But really, it helps to really like think about how you felt before and how you feel now, and you can repeat this anytime you want. When I post it live, I'll post the timestamp. I might not have gotten to do that on last week's. I've been a bit of a mess and I've been procrastinating quite a bit. Oh yeah, I have a whole big plan of how my life's gonna go, and I was like late to this live stream because it's not even that I procrastinated. I do procrastinate. Everything seems so overwhelming, and I'm afraid to fail. I need to use this tapping script more. Sorry, I just wrote it today because I was procrastinating. See, even the tapping girl procrastinates. Now, Fatima, Sam, do you wanna run through last week's tapping script real quick? Just because I have it right here. So we were dealing last week with people pleasing. Yeah, we were dealing with people pleasing. It's a shame-based habit because you feel like you need to earn love and support from other people by doing all this other stuff to them, with them. And so, yeah, that's the thing, like with procrastination and shame. When your life is hard, you get so used to not having the resources that you need, and you get so used to everything not being easy. And so it's very easy to like catastrophize and to build up the tasks that you need to do. Let's do it, right? Um, yeah, wait, you used to do what? What did you used to do? Tell me. I missed it. I forgot what I said. Fatima, what did you used to do? So when you're used to things being shitty and difficult all the time, you assume that everything is going to be shitty and difficult all the time. But that's not true. Just because things were shitty and difficult in the past does not mean they still are or they're going to. So it's really just about re-examining our beliefs about the way things work and asking ourselves, what if things could be easier? What if I could make things easier for myself? And I think tapping really helps with that. Oh yeah, the people pleasing. Oh, you stopped? You're good? You're good on people pleasing? Well, then you don't even need this tapping session. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so this is all about the people pleasing one. Okay, so then let's see. Do I have the first week's? What about just having the toxic shame? You guys want to just do the toxic shame one, or you want to do the people pleasing one? Which one do you want to do? You tell me. People pleasing or the basic toxic shame one? You tell me. We'll do whichever one you guys want to do. Trying to find the last page to that one. Oh my God, I was so nervous. The first live stream I did, I felt so unprepared. I felt like such an imposter. Like, who am I to be teaching anything to anybody? But I got this. Okay, the basic one. Okay, cool. Yeah, people pleasing. Yo, Sam, Fatima stopped people pleasing when she was like 12 years old. I'm very impressed. I'm jealous. Give us your tips. Because forget that. You got to please yourself first and foremost. And then when you focus most of your energy in your life on pleasing yourself, you really are very available to please the right people in your life who deserve it. You know what I'm saying? And when you don't feel worthy enough and you don't feel good enough, you're trying to make other people think that you're good. So you're doing all this like people pleasing stuff, but when you feel worthy enough and you believe that you're good, you don't need other people to validate that opinion of yourself. Yeah, you were just fed up. Good girl. I'm so proud of you. Oh, I wish more young girls could get fed up, but good. All right, so we're gonna clear the toxic shame. So yeah, you didn't care anymore about others. Good girl. Whew, take us with you. I want what you're on. That's awesome. You inspire me. Yeah, and it's like a habit, especially more for women because I feel like we're kind of like taught to be like more subservient and to, do more people pleasing stuff. But I could be wrong. All I know is my experience as a woman. I know men are also, raised to do and do and do for people. But yeah, and I notice like when I'm doing a people pleasing thing and I'm learning to say no. And, because when you're people pleasing, you're basically being fake. You're acting like you want to do something to be helpful. But when you're people pleasing from a place of shame, you're really just trying to get people to like you so you don't feel like shit about yourself. And that's fake. And it's actually like low key manipulative. And it's slightly dishonest. So yeah, we're all better off when we don't tell white lies and we don't say yes to doing things that we'd rather say no to doing. All right, let's do the basic shame tapping. And you can also see this in the first week video too. So here we go. Continue tapping through that one. Okay, yeah, no, we already know that one. Okay, cool, 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 cool. All right, here we go. Karate chop point. Yes, it does suck, but we can reset our habits and always remind ourselves of the way that we want to be living. And even if we're not always living up to that standard, we can just remind ourselves where the standards are, accept ourselves for not being up to the standard for that moment, have grace with ourselves, be kind to ourselves, give ourselves the compassion and the support that we might not have had in our life from others, but we can always give to ourselves. It's an unlimited well of love and support that you can get from yourself. I guess it even helps to hug yourself. I don't know if I can do it for real in front of you guys. I'll try anything. Like I told you, I wasn't kidding. I did ayahuasca. I did everything to heal. All right, let's set this statement up, friends and family. Sam and Fatima, the other 3 people that are in here with us. Guys, if you're in here and you want to run through a tapping sequence to make yourself feel better energetically, stick around. We're about to do it. Hit those 3 buttons up in the corner and find the way to like the live stream. This helps my YouTube channel more than you understand, and I'm working really, really hard all the time to build it up. And I'm procrastinating sometimes, so even I'm not perfect. Here we go. Take a deep breath through your nose, feet flat on the ground, uncrossed legs, deep breath through your nose, breath out of your mouth. We're going to take a big, deep cleansing breath, and we're going to get started on the tapping. Feels so good to breathe. Sometimes we don't do it all day and we don't even realize, especially when I'm blah, 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 blah. Feels so good to breathe. Even though I feel this deep shame, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though the shame is blocking me, I choose to release it now. Even though I am overwhelmed by shame, I am open to healing and self-acceptance. Even though I feel this deep shame, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though this shame is blocking me, I choose to release it now. Even though I am overwhelmed by shame, I am open to healing and self-acceptance. This deep shame I feel, always feeling unlovable and unworthy. It's blocking my happiness. Always feeling unlovable and unworthy. It's blocking my happiness. I don't deserve to feel this way. I don't deserve to feel this way. This toxic shame resulted from not being loved and accepted in the past, probably as a child. This toxic shame resulted from not being loved and accepted in the past, probably as a child. This shame came from the unhealed parts of other people. This shame came from the unhealed parts of other people who I trusted to teach me to love myself. Who I trusted to teach me to love myself. They were doing their best to love me, and I forgive them. They were doing their best to love me, and I forgive them. It's been with me for too long. It's been with me for too long. I am ready to let it go. It's been with me for too long. I'm ready to let it go. Releasing this shame now. Releasing this shame now. I choose to forgive myself. This is my favorite tapping point too. I choose to forgive myself. Just feels so right. All this shame I feel, don't forget to breathe. All this deep shame I feel, always feeling unlovable and unworthy. It's blocking my happiness. I usually do it with 2 hands when I'm by myself, but when I'm using a script, I hold the paper. So you can do it with 2 hands. I prefer that. Always feeling unlovable and unworthy. It's blocking my happiness. It's blocking my natural ability to express my greatest potential and to make loving and healthy choices for myself. It's blocking my natural ability to express my greatest potential and to make loving and healthy choices for myself. Somewhere along the way, I was taught I was not enough. Somewhere along the way, I was taught I was not enough. I was taught I needed to change myself to make other people love me. I was taught I needed to change myself to make other people love me. I don't deserve to feel this way. I don't deserve to feel this way. This shame was learned from people around me who had shame of their own. This shame was learned from people around me who had shame of their own. I learned my true authentic self was not worthy of love and acceptance, and I hid my true self away. I learned my true authentic self was not worthy of love and acceptance, and I hid my true self away. The underarm point should be like a tender point on the side of your ribs. You should feel around for it. There'll be a bit of a sore spot. I choose to forgive myself now and release this shame. I choose to forgive myself now and release this shame. Letting go of this shame. Embracing self-forgiveness. Believing I deserve all the best the world has to offer. Oh, I forgot to repeat it. Letting go of the shame. Embracing self-forgiveness. Embracing self-forgiveness. Believing I deserve all the best the world has to offer. Believing I deserve all the best the world has to offer. Choosing to heal. Choosing to heal. Choosing to forgive myself and others. Choosing to forgive myself and others. Feeling lighter and free. Feeling lighter and more free. Feeling safe in the world to express my authentic and true nature. Feeling safe in the world to express my honest and pure nature. Living my dream life in complete peace, joy, and vitality. Living my dream life in complete peace, joy, and vitality. All right, we're gonna do one last round and really tap it in, okay? I love myself fully and completely. Say it, even if it seems silly. I love myself fully and completely. If I can do this on YouTube, you can do it at your house. I accept myself now. I accept myself now. I make choices for my highest good. I make choices for my highest good. I surround myself with loving and supportive people who accept the true me. I surround myself with loving and supportive people who accept the true me. These healthy and loving choices that I make every day, guide me on my highest path. Guide me on my highest path. To reach my highest potential. To reach my highest potential. Building a life I love every day. Building a life I love every day. Now we're going to take a big, deep breath through our nose, into our belly, and out through our mouth. And we're going to say, I am free from shame. I accept myself fully and completely. I am free from shame. I accept myself fully and completely. Use this script as needed to release feelings of shame and promote healing and self-acceptance. Why not? I mean, you could. Why not release your self-hatred? Why not? You know? Felt cute. Might release some self-hatred later. What did you think, guys? The top of the head point's my favorite point. You won my heart when you told me that. I was like, yeah, real ones know. Oh, sorry. My mic's just right here. I don't even have to. Real ones know. Yeah. Guys, thank you so much for being here. I hope that this has left you feeling refreshed and clear. I feel really good. I really do. I've been doing my 4 thumps in the morning. I'll make a video on the 4 thumps. The 4 thumps, always forget. I always have to Google it. The 4 thumps is under the eye, collarbones, under the rib cage, and I think under the arm. Those are the 4 thumbs. So I've been doing that when I wake up. I set myself a whiteboard. I actually wanted to use that to teach you guys too. I meant for this video to be a lot more clear and organized and structured, but then it got late really fast and I was taking care of my kids. And I'm so glad that when you have the feedback that what I'm saying makes sense, because I don't even know, because it's a live stream, so I don't know until I watch it back, like if anything I said made sense. So I'm really glad that some of it makes sense to you, at least part of it. And I have so much fun connecting with you guys. Yes, this is beautiful, like a spiritual awakening. Sam, like I say, I just need one person to keep going. I only need one person to encourage me to keep going. And you are my one person. No, Fatima too. You guys, I can't believe that it actually makes you feel better. I don't know. Like I have imposter syndrome. I feel like a fraud. And I feel, don't you tell me that it can't connect. I'm having trouble with my connection. No, I'm trying to say something profound. The real beauty too is that you're harnessing your own healing power. You're harnessing the healing power of yourself. I hope I didn't lose you guys because my connection was bad. That would be so tragic. But the beautiful part about it is that you're harnessing. I'm sorry if I'm having trouble with my connection. For some reason, it's telling me that I'm having an issue, but I'm on full Wi-Fi. The beautiful part is that you're accessing the inner healer in yourself. So I am trained in the healing arts, but I've heard like some quote that says a real healer just introduces people to the healing. Yay. Okay, cool. I'm back. Thank God. So a real healer introduces people to the healer within themselves. And that's what EFT tapping really does. And that's why it is so beautiful. And that's why the human body and life really is so beautiful. That's why I say it's simple, but it's not easy. It's not easy to believe in unseen things. It's not easy to sit down and tap on yourself to try to feel better. It's easy just to go with the flow of whatever has been installed in your mind and whatever, inertia. An object in motion will stay in motion. An object at rest will remain at rest. So it's easy just to let the inertia of your energy keep you wherever you are or take you wherever it's going. This is like spiritual stuff from the shaman. I'm going to put some of this on. But it's so beautiful that everything that we need to heal ourselves is within ourselves, and we also have what's inside of us to heal each other. So I healed myself, and now I'm sharing it with you guys so that you guys can heal yourselves, but I'm also helping heal you, and then you can help heal somebody else by turning them on to this technique, or even your healed energy. Your healed energy will go out as a light in the world, and it's just like an actual light. You can't like contain all the light of a flashlight by putting your hand on it. Like it's going to seep out. So, no matter what happens, you are clearing off the light of yourself, and you're shining brighter. When you heal yourself, you're shining brighter for the whole world. So, when we heal ourselves, we're actually working to heal the entire world. When we raise ourselves up, we're raising the entire world up. And I just think that that's so amazing. And I love that. And I love that you guys are here with me and we're doing it together. I've got a lot of other free self-healing stuff to teach you too. It's just I had to choose a place to start. So I chose the EFT tapping because I know it's cheap and everyone can do it and it's easy. And you know what? If you try it and you don't like it, you're not out anything. You're not out much time. You're not out any money. You're just out feeling a little bit silly for a little while. But you should never feel silly for doing things to help make yourself feel better because that's what life's all about. Feeling good, doing your best, enjoying the world, and spreading it and sharing it with other people all together. Humanity, right? Takes one light to light up everyone. Yeah. Or think about the way that you only have to light one candle and then you can light the whole birthday cake. There's one of those great explanations you love so much. I hope we didn't lose Fatima. Maybe we did. Fatima? Fatima. Maybe we did because I lost my connection, but it's okay. She liked it. And now she knows what EFT tapping is. Maybe she'll come back next Thursday. Thank you for being here despite your time zone issues. I really appreciate it. I'm so glad to see you in here again. I think, I missed you last week, right? We met on the first week, and then last week you weren't here. But you commented. I talked to you in the comments. But if you're having any issues or anything that you're struggling with, you can always, I'll put in the description. I didn't have time to type out the whole description, but in the first week's tapping video live stream, there's my email. It's taylortelevisiontv@gmail.com. So if you have any specific things that you need help with, let me know. I won't call you out, but I can address it in my future live streams for tapping. And yeah, I think maybe let's take a moment to list some things that we're grateful for. I'm so grateful for this new Florida water. Florida water. It's like perfumed water with like, it's like shamanic and it's flowers and it's all sorts of special stuff. And it comes from like tribes in South America. And I had been using mine. Oh, it's interesting. One light to light up everyone. I am the lighthouse. I am a light worker. I'm glad that you said that. That's cool. Thanks. Yeah, so I was using mine. I can recross my legs now. I was using mine super slowly because I was running out. I even put this in my steam cleaner for my floor at the ayahuasca ceremony. The shaman used this too. Yeah, it's from Peru. And then my mentor and my hypnotist, Albert, thank you, Albert, so much for this. He got me a new one right before I ran out. He knows me so well. So I'm so grateful for Albert. I'm so grateful for this gift. Hey, Fatima! I'm sorry if we lost you. I had a bad connection for a second. I'm so glad that you found your way back. And I'm so glad it might have been my Wi-Fi, but I'm sorry that your electricity cut off. But I'm also so glad that you learned EFT tapping and you can do it anytime you want, anywhere you want. And if you ever have a specific thing that you need help with, you can reach out to me in my email. It's in the About Me on my YouTube. It's in the description of the first video. It's taylortelevisiontv@gmail.com. You can always feel free to reach out to me and I can address your specific concerns, not personally, like I won't call you out by name, but if you have anything specifically that you feel that you could use an EFT tapping script for, I'm your girl. I don't know if you know what this is. It's Florida water. It's like shamanic water. I was just taking a second with Sam before I ended to think about 3 things. I'm so grateful for you. You're so welcome anytime. taylortelevisiontv@gmail.com. It's in the description of my first video. I think I forgot to upload the description of my second video, but maybe I didn't. And this third video, I'll put it behind. It's going to take me until tomorrow, but I'll put it in the description, all the information. I'm so grateful for you for being here. I'm so grateful for you for having an open mind and actually taking the time to really try something new with me. Happy birthday. And shukran and marhaban, because I think it's the morning in Lebanon. I didn't see it. I will definitely look for it again because I just checked my Taylor Television Gmail like a couple of hours ago. But maybe it went into my junk or like my whatever spam folder. So I'll definitely take a look because I just checked it today because no one really emails me there yet. But today I thought, oh, maybe someone did email me. I better check. Afwan, you're welcome. And Sam, I will absolutely make sure to check my email. And if I didn't get it, I'll let you know in a comment or something. 3:15 in the morning. Marhaban. For sure. But yes, Sam, I'll check my email. But yeah, my email is taylortelevisiontv@gmail.com. If you have anything you'd like me to deal with more specifically, or you want to work one-on-one personally, I teach this stuff personally. I make personalized scripts and programs for people and all that. But you can catch me free on the live stream. We'll be here at the same time next Thursday, and you'll always be able to replay it because I'll always repost it. So even if you're not awake at 3:15 in the morning, next Thursday, I'll be here at 7 o'clock New York time doing my live stream for tapping. Next week, we'll wrap up the shame series and then we'll start working on something new. People's choice, right? So hopefully you guys are here so you can help me decide where to take this party on the road next week. So thank you guys so much for being here. It's actually always the perfect time to wrap up because I'm right at my window and it does start to get dark. But I'm really glad you guys are here with me. Thank you so much for entertaining me, for helping me to entertain you. And if I can just help one person feel better, it's all worth it to me because that one person who feels better will go forth and make someone else feel better. And when we do that, guys, we heal the whole world. You know, the world's consciousness is like elevating. We're entering in. Yo, Angel, Muhammad, do I have a daughter? What do you think? Thank you guys so much for the likes. Thank you so much. I'm so glad. I hope to catch you guys next time. Angel, you're late. Also, Angel, I couldn't find any message from you on Instagram. And Muhammad, shukran, afwan, marhaban. But I'm going to run. We've been live for an hour and 20 minutes. Angel, you might have to watch it on the replay. But yeah, I look forward to next time. Thank you guys so much for coming back. And make sure you subscribe to the channel. Fatima, make sure you subscribe so that you see when I go live. And hit the notification if there's still a notification. I think there is still a notification bell. Yes, I will. I'm going to go hang out with my kids. I'm going to probably take a little bit of a walk. I've been sick, so I'd like to go get some fresh air. I feel much better today than I felt yesterday. Yesterday I had the worst fever. I thought I had that other sickness. My eyes were hurting so bad. And yeah, it was very rough. Oh, thank you for liking it. Yes, thank you, Fatima. Thank you so much. I did check my DM. I literally searched you by name, Angel. I'll check again. I also have to check my email because apparently I got an email that I didn't see. But I'm on it, guys. Thank you so much for coming into my live, Angel, as usual, my fellow New Yorker. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you. Thank you. Focus on what you're grateful for. I think I lost track by saying I was grateful for this, but I'm grateful for you, and you. And I'm grateful for my birthday cards that I got from my family. That one's from my dad. This one's from my mom. I'm grateful for my family. And I'm grateful for these beautiful orchids and this beautiful lamp, which is also from my hypnotist and mentor. All right, guys, focus on what you're grateful for. Tap on anything you need to. You can use this to clear any sort of negative feelings. And make sure to watch weeks 1, 2, and 3. And you'll learn 3 amazing tapping sequences that you can do anytime you want. I'll timestamp them in the description. That way you don't have to watch the whole video again. You can just clip to the tapping. And you'll be feeling so much better, and we'll all make each other feel better, and then the consciousness of Earth is going to elevate, and we're going to have a golden age where everything's beautiful, and people don't feel so bad all the time. We can do it, guys. Yeah. All right, thank you for being here with me. I love you all, and I'll see you next week.